It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
I have to get it to her.
Hey, no, this is not the midday show. This is the morning show. I didn't realize that we didn't have the morning. Have we been playing this all the time?
No, the radio station was playing the morning intro.
Oh.
We have to MP3 it onto here.
But today is Thursday.
I
So
noticed
what happened
it yesterday.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
I noticed it yesterday.
Welcome to the midday show in the morning.
Happy Thursday to you, Freddie.
Happy Thursday.
It just keeps rolling and going, and we keep going and sharing information. We are chock full of information and call-ins today. Our set is closed to everyone except essentials. We're we're not even on a crew. We're on 1 and 2 is what we are. But
We're on a
just share the
skeleton
information.
crew.
Yesterday's information was spectacular. How did everyone like that?
Everybody found it
Hopeful.
nerve-wracking because after the show, the Senate, after they were going to vote it in, found a problem with the bill.
What was the problem?
You're making more money on unemployment than you are if you're working. That's not supposed to work that way.
I saw that. And then the question is, how much do you have to make to get money?
No, the real question is, they're saying when you make money, let's say it's $75,000.
Right.
Is that gross or net?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can make $150,000 and then gross,
And then after expenses,
and then your business eat up everything, and you owe the government based on what you take home. Is that the magic number? I don't know. We can ask Ian.
yeah, they haven't talked gross or net, and they haven't talked about what if you have a part-time job? Does that constitute that you get stimulus money and you've lost that? What if you're a student and you're working part-time? Does that enable you to get money? There's a lot of things. Maybe it's not a full-time job. What if you're working 20 hours a week? What if you're working 10? What if you lost your job because of that? All of these
Teddy, the
questions-
reverb is too loud.
All of these questions, I don't know what that means.
Well, the bottom line is that we have, let's turn that down a little bit. The bottom line is the problem we're having is that there are too many questions and not enough answers, and I get that. But they went back and 96-0, they voted in the Senate to get the stuff out. And now it goes to the House today, where Magical Pelosi is going to be running that show. And I don't think they're going to do something called a raise your hand vote.
Raise your hand if you're sure. That would be the.
Well, they need a unanimous.
Remember that?
They need a unanimous. If not, it doesn't pass. It's the way the Constitution is written. But the funny thing about all of this is that there's help on the way, and it's funny because when people hear this, everybody, the naysayers already have started. It's not going to be enough. It's like everything else, you know. The virus is going to hit us again. I mean, we can't get through the first one, and people are talking about the
Let me ask
next
you a
one.
question about that. Give us a call. Let us know what's going on with you. We do have callers calling in for this show and then our afternoon show, 888-994-4995. And if you want our video code, let us know, and we'll be happy to get that out to you so you can come in through your video platform and we can see what's going on and you can talk to us face to face. But in the meantime, that's my other thought, right? We finally are saying, we're giving people home quarantines. We're doing a stimulus package. We're giving everyone some hope. And what comes out today? We're going to get it again.
The chances
Seriously?
are that we're going to get it again.
Come on. Why would? And it's okay if he feels that way. Dr. Fauci, medical doctor, he's got the information. Why does the media have to put that out today? Why do they have to just put like that dagger back in when everyone's finally maybe breathing, maybe just sustaining, right? You just got a panic phone call. But yet, wait. If there's hope, let's tell you that in 6 months it's coming back. Talk about the psyche and the mental health aspect of what that just did to everybody. Explain.
Well, I'm gonna explain that to you in a number of ways. Number one, Fauci,
And why do I ask you for advice?
because I am.
That's the other thing.
I'm the wise, because I'm the wise one.
The answers.
I have no idea. I'll give you my opinion.
Okay, give me your opinion.
Dr. Fauci, is that his name?
Uh-huh.
Dr. Fauci, since the beginning of this whole thing, and I heard that he is a guru to the last epidemic we had. He was the king. He was the czar.
Right.
So that's why they put him on this task force. The problem we're having is that Dr. Fauci, whatever his name is beginning to read his own headlines. And he's becoming the voice of reason, while Mr. Trump, President Trump, is becoming the voice of panic. Because a lot of people in this country, you either love or you don't love Trump. There is no in between. You're either in or you're out.
You think?
Absolutely.
You don't think people accept for what it is? You may not like his tweets, but you think this is fair. You may not like this, but you think that is fair.
No,
you don't
because
think
they attribute everything that Trump has done successfully to something else or someone else, or because. There's always he jumped on the bandwagon at the right time. The market is up. Like all of a sudden, everybody, when it hit 19,000 points on the clicker, all of a sudden, we're back to where Trump got it. Not about looking at the 29,000, about the monies and all, none of that. There's always a negative to it. But anyway, so Fauci now is beginning to read his headlines. And now you notice he's dressing even more appropriate. All of a sudden, he's becoming more cosmic, his hands, his wavers. And he came up with a new line yesterday that Trump and nobody else dictates what's going to happen. The virus does. And he's right. That's good reasoning. But there is a time to place information. Wrong information, right information, the future will tell us.
It might be right information, but
It
what do
might
you always
be.
say? It's how we get to do this.
It's the timing.
delivery.
It's the
and
delivery,
the timing.
yes.
And you know what? Let everyone have a collective breath maybe before. Because maybe by November we have a good treatment. AIDS hasn't gone away. There's treatments.
Well, we talked about
The
that.
flu hasn't gone away. There's a new strain every year and they change the vaccine. Treatments.
Viruses don't go away.
You know what? In November, if and when another strain of something comes back, will there be another virus? There's always another virus. But if there's a treatment, if there's a vaccine, if there's a pill, something we can take that helps, then you know what? Then it's not so scary. But they don't talk about that. Or maybe he did, but maybe
It's not being.
our collective media has chosen not to share
Well,
that
that's what
part of the
happened.
soundbite.
That's what happened yesterday. Trump got into it with somebody. He says the problem is that when we say something that's useful, you don't put it out there. What you put out there is the controversial stuff because that sells.
They put a headline out.
Exactly.
And we're in media, and I get all that. Fortunately for us, we're able to do what we do, and our sponsors support what we do. But it's not the headlines. You read a headline on what's coming in the newspaper, sometimes that headline's not even within the body of the article. Have you noticed that?
That's right. No, absolutely. And the bottom line here is we want to be the voice of the people. We want people to tell us. We've asked businesses to call in. We gave you a great segment yesterday on information that's going to touch everybody. Everybody, the stimulus program. Does it have problems? I mean, you're looking at a massive problem to begin with. That they're offering a Band-Aid to get us through 30, 60 days? Come on. You gotta call a spade here. We are in a very dangerous situation. I saw the news this morning. They're talking about Louisiana during the corona outbreak. And they had, is it Bourbon Street, is it called? You should have seen the numbers. It looked like Madison Avenue on a sunny Friday afternoon.
We talked about that, about a month ago when this happened.
And we were asking, what are you doing?
They had to shut down Bourbon Street because people weren't thinking. You talk about cleanliness, and you talk about all these other things, and beer parties, and it's all great fun, but it's the common sense side of what this is.
It is, and they're closing bright lines today. New mandates have come down.
Are they closing the subways, you said?
In New York City, yes, they are closing the subways.
It's about time to close the subways.
But I don't understand why they're even open.
Well, I don't understand
They're
why
giant
they didn't do it
test
a month
tubes
ago,
of if you want to grow Corona in a dish, go to the New York City subway line. It's everywhere. I mean, the damn subway line is metal and plastic.
Teddy, we had a caller. He said he couldn't get through. Our executive producer said he tried to call and couldn't call in.
Well, look, there's a little sign that says phone. You got to call her.
Who do we
Okay,
have
who's
on
on
the
the
phone?
air?
It's me.
Hey, me. That would be your son.
Who
Gio.
says? Which son?
It's your son, the good
Our
son.
executive producer.
Who, Gio?
I don't know. You have
Yes.
another son that's our executive
The
producer.
good son, he said.
The
That
good
gave it
one.
away. Holy smoke. I think in the 5 years, this is maybe the third time that Mr. Giovanni has called.
How you doing,
I
Joe?
wanted to make sure the phone lines were still working.
It's a good connection.
I'm calling you from my bunker.
Where are you now?
I'm in my underground bunker, my lair.
His lair. It's funny.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my son Giovanni. And Giovanni is responsible for us actually being here because he created the M2 website and the studios and everything you see around us. But my son never tells me what's going on in his life. He's like the CIA and the FBI all rolled into one. Are you at work?
I've told you, I'm calling you from my bunker. I just want you to know, this is serious, and we should all be in our bunkers underground with our 3 months of food supply.
He's like a
He
squirrel.
doesn't have a bunker.
I know he doesn't. He's funny.
He's either
I do.
home or at work, but this is news to me. I thought he was at work.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's in a bunker at work.
There is no bunker.
We have a bunker at work.
They do not.
How is Joey?
Joey's good. I mean, it's a little calmer here in Bradenton, Sarasota. Tampa's a little more chaotic. Here, the schools are closed, but the daycares are open. You still have people trying to go to the beach. You still have people going to the parks. You see more people outside than I think you have ever seen. It's kind of amazing to me where even though, I mean, they're not in groups of people, of course, but people are rushing to DIY stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, and buying everything in sight. I mean, the amount of houses that I've seen painted, the amount of lawn work being done by the actual homeowners is amazing to me.
Wow.
So we're going to run out of paint soon. People.
Oh, we've run out of paint, we've run out of shovels, we've run out of just plants, nursery stuff. There's just we're going to have a lot of babies in about 9 months. So
It's so interesting because on this side we'll probably have a lot of divorces. No one's buying paint because no one can hire a painter. All the landscapers are able to work. The difference of the two coasts.
Well, you got to get rid of the roaches because they carry bugs.
well, no one's hiring painters,
Right,
but they're
that's
just
why
doing
you're
it
doing
themselves
painting.
because they're not working.
Yeah, but you do it yourself.
You're going to do that yourself?
Right. So people are painting their houses, painting their cars, whatever, the sidewalk.
I think I want to
There's tons of kids out.
Now, Gio, tell everybody, where do you work?
So I work at the Rosskamp Institute in Sarasota. We are considered an essential business. We do neurological research. We also do see patients in our neurology clinic, although we're not seeing any actual patients for the time being. We're all doing telemedicine.
Okay, and I wanted to bring that up because I understand, you've worked with the NFL, you're working with NASA, you guys are involved in some heavy stuff, that stuff with the ocean. What is that, Agent? What is that? The thing in the ocean.
The red tide.
You guys are studying that as well, correct?
Yeah, so we have a lot of projects going on, and we're actually kind of unique. A lot of research organizations and schools are actually terminating a lot of those programs. So they're getting rid of their research. They're just halting it. In some cases, they just have to destroy it because you can't be partway through an experiment and then pause. It's either you go or you don't.
Wow.
So we are still open. We're in a very limited capacity, skeleton crew type stuff, but we are still pushing to, find our treatments, our cures, meet our grant deadlines and things like that. So, and I'm losing my voice, but I'm not sick.
You sound incredible, and I can't thank you enough because we talked yesterday how a lot of businesses are shut down, and we have the gift of media being able to stay open and deliver messages, and it's with your help that we've expanded our platform to bring in more and more callers so we can hold up to 4 video calls at one time on our platform because Gio worked so hard with us over the weekend to do that. So huge thank you to you for that. And it's what we talked about yesterday. Some businesses can grow at this time and reposition to be there for other people.
And the bottom line here, Gio, I wanted to ask is, has the government reached out to you guys in any capacity to study maybe to get a cure for the virus?
No, many of those trials have begun months ago. They're already underway. We don't really focus too much on viruses or viral research. We're mostly looking at if there was a drug already, we could do testing and we could do that kind of stuff. But we're not really doing that level of research on how a virus would be, treated or fought against in the body. It's a little bit of a different science.
Gotcha. All right.
He's so smart.
Well, I'm glad to see that he's okay, not that he calls me to let me know.
I'm so glad that he called in. And again, thank you for everything that you do and keeping the technology up and running. And he does everything remotely from the other side of Florida for us and tireless hours.
Well, that's why the internet was originally invented. It was a bunch of nerds worried about nuclear fallout.
Really?
So this is actually, this type of situation is exactly why the internet even exists in the first place. They were worried that the phone lines would go down, so they started networking their computers, and that's how email came about, and it grew from there. So the internet is the perfect solution to dealing with things like social distancing and viruses trying to wipe us off the planet.
It's a scary thing. This is like a movie. I've been watching movies about a kid has the antidote and they got to get into the research center and everything that goes through there, apocalypse this, and even The Walking Dead, The Living Dead.
But look what Gio's doing. He's working with the Neurological Institute. He's working with these studies. He's dealing with telemedicine, everything on the forefront. Plus, he's doing all the technology side of it. He's right in the center of everything, and he's getting both. Just like we talked with Ann and Dan yesterday, he's got both sides of it. He's got the internet side, he's got the medical side, there's the research side. Huge.
But he doesn't gargle with salt. He thinks he's Superman. He's a millennial mentality with an old man's brain.
He's a boy genius.
Your other son is a millennial. I'm not a millennial.
What are you?
I'm the generation after millennials. What is it, Z? I don't know what it's called, whatever they call it.
Gio.
Remember talking about Gio when we were
no.
at BZT, about how we used to take a box apart and a phone apart?
He took a phone apart.
He was what, 4?
Yeah, now my son does that at daycare. He takes apart the toys.
And there you have it.
They said, Mr. Santori, we're running out of toys. Joey keeps taking them apart.
Payback is a real, you know what.
All right, thanks, Gio. I think we have another call. Stay safe, stay in touch. Thank you again for all your hard work with us every day.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Well, at least I got to hear from him. And then I got to hear from my sister who called me. She's in the medical at Columbia Presbyterian in New York. And I asked her, Miriam, how are you feeling? And she gives me the whole politics of what's going on.
That just happened.
Yeah, you saw I was on the phone. I told her I got to go. And she's giving me, there isn't enough supplies.
We know that.
So I said to her, Miriam, there isn't any supplies anywhere. Nobody has enough supplies. But we're the epicenter. Now, she's quoting things like words she doesn't, and my sister has 2 masters, She's quoting words that I know that she's hearing. You ever get that conversation?
Oh, that's what happens with the media.
They quote the media.
Teddy, is Lyn-Dee on? All right. Let's bring her over.
Oh, they're bringing. I don't see the phone, and there she is.
I didn't either, but she wrote in, and there she
is. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm well. I'm blessed. I'm glad to see you guys on.
Wow, you look fantastic.
You look fantastic. You sound fantastic.
Wow.
You look like you're on vacation in sunny South Florida.
Well, there's something to be said about being at home and appreciating what you have now.
That's amazing. Lyn-Dee Eldridge with the Happiness Jungle. And when we met you, right, everyone that says, how do people meet? And you were talking happiness, and we gave you a hope heart and everything you do. Tell us how you're getting through this.
I'm living in the now moment. I'm not looking at what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not looking at what happened yesterday. I'm living in the now, and I'm keeping myself very current with the news. And I am truly appreciating what I have, not what I don't have. And I'm helping a lot of people. People are calling me 24/7, and I'm trying to help them get through this. And if they'll just follow my instructions, they'll be happier. And I know this for a fact because I'm living. Because we're all going through it. We're all human beings. We all have feelings. We have the right to feel our emotions. But people are getting stuck in their emotions, and I refuse to allow that. So if they'll call me, I help them through that. And whether they're home with spouses or family, or if they're alone, I'm alone. but there's a different mindset that I have than others have. But once I get off the phone with people, they seem to understand, okay, I'll live right now. I'll live in the now. I won't be upset. I'll appreciate what I have around me.
And that's what you look like right now. You've got the trees behind you. You're in a beautiful pink chair. Very happiness. Oh, is that your pillow?
It is.
All right.
Go ahead.
Share with us your pillow.
So the body pillow was created over 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with the breast cancer and I got divorced 3 weeks into radiation. The purpose for the body pillow for me was to hug me at night, and it did. And it still does to this day. As people are purchasing the pillow, I'm finding out that it's helping people in so many other ways. Some people are having surgeries. They have back challenges, heart challenges. And what's happening is they're able to sit up in a way that they get comfortable. And because of the way my pillow is designed and the size of the pillow, they're finding out that these arms are able to support your back, support your knees. But for me, like I said, it hugs me.
How big is that pillow?
Let me show you. I show you.
It's like a giant octopus.
Wow, that's a
Look at the arms on this thing. It's
Lyn-Dee.
tremendous.
Wow.
So it's a pillow with two big arms.
It bends, it folds. It could be an armchair.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I am so blessed that because I'm a keynote speaker and I'm an author and I was writing about the pillow, sharing it with everybody, people were asking me, where can I get it? Are you selling them? And at the time I wasn't. And then I realized I should, because I've created it to a size that it's very comfortable. It's not oversized. So I produced it. And last October is when I got in my shipment, and it's inevitable that when I speak on stages, people are purchasing it. It's a blessing.
Now, do you have stock of the pillows? Is that the way people can order it?
I have a very limited stock. So I am encouraging people that if they want to order their pillow, I will get it out to them as fast as possible, which I mail it out that day. And but I'm encouraging people to go ahead and order the pillow, because when they're gone, I don't know when I'm going to be able to reorder them. And a matter of fact, I think I'm going to start making them. But again, I got to get out there and I have to find the material for the pillow.
Are you making them yourself?
I don't make them myself. I've had them manufactured. And this is way before the coronavirus. Over 100 pillows have been sold. Nobody has been sick. And I haven't had one return.
And how do you clean the pillows? How do you wash them?
You throw them in the washing machine and the dryer.
The whole pillow?
You could throw the whole pillow in, or you could remove the outer pillowcase and throw that in. But I throw the whole pillowcase, I throw the whole pillow in the washer.
Gotcha.
And then I throw it in the dryer.
And they want to know, what are they made of?
They are made of it's 100% cotton, and the fill is hypoallergenic.
I'm reading all the testimonials on this. I mean, cancer survivors. We talk all the time about situations creating opportunities. And here you are being diagnosed with cancer, going through treatment, and you came up with this pillow idea for a hug. Think how many college students, people who are going through something, we have little kids that we work with their shows, and they carry around their bunny, right? Maybe as adults we can't carry on a bunny anymore, but why can't we? You have a pillow when you go home for a hug.
You can put it in your car.
Can you drive with it? Do you have people use it in their car for their back?
And they do. And you know what's so unique is people are finding all different ways. So instead of this top part being the back support in their car, they're sitting on this part, and then they're taking the arm and they're either letting it flop over or they're putting it against their back. So it's very creative. This top could also be a tabletop, which I mean like this.
Interesting.
And then you could take your arms and then again, put it where they need to be, under your knee, under your back. Amazing.
It's like a computer desk also, if you do it that way, right? You could sit on the couch, put it behind you, and put your laptop on.
I want to put a face on it, and then I'll be able to talk to it.
There is actually.
there are people that have said, we need to put faces on it. And I said, well, that's interesting. Maybe my next order, I'll start putting, George Clooney on it, or, whoever your choice is. But the main purpose was the comfort. And for me, it was because I was lonely.
How much are they?
People, they're $69.95 plus shipping and handling. And, Dawn and Freddie, it was heartwarming when I have clients of mine that have addiction challenges, of all different addiction challenges. And they received a pillow because they have anxiety. And they're using the pillow, and not only to comfort them, whether they're sitting up in a chair or whatever, but it's hugging them. And they commented back to me, and they gave me their testimonial that it's amazing because they don't feel lonely. Even though they're alone, like I am, when this pillow wraps around you and the other side goes in between your knees, there's something to be said about having your mind accept this hug as the genuine hug that you're missing from humans.
It's interesting, especially during this time. People are writing in, how are you able to ship? But there's social distancing, right? Even no hugging, no kissing hello, none of that. And if you live alone, you're missing that interaction. Seniors, I think this is tremendous for them as well.
Yes. Widows, widowers, men, women, children, it's a blessing. And the only thing that I could say is, we have to look back at things that have happened in our lives. So if there's one thing that I'm grateful for having the breast cancer, getting the divorce 3 weeks into radiation, is the discovery of this body pillow.
Is that the name of it? Body pillow? The body pillow? Is the body pillow?
It's called the Happiness Jungle Emotional Support Body Pillow.
Called a body pillow that hugs you when you need it the most.
It's funny because when we're born and we come out of the womb, children like to be wrapped in a blanket, and they sleep because it's like you're in the womb again. And I know for a fact that as you get older, millennials know because they're from another country, but another world. But as you get older, you like the sense of something wrapping around you. It just gives you a sense of comfort. So right. I can see how this psychologically, especially this time of need. I mean, you think about what's going on around us. I get a phone call from my sister and my son on the same day and you can hear it. And Gio, you can't as much.
It sounds good.
Yeah, but he doesn't call unless he wants to make sure everything's okay. And this is a way of releasing, I would call it the anxiety release pillow or
the oxytocin pillow.
Man, you see, she got to get all complicated. The hell is an oxytocin?
Yeah, you can call it, please. Whatever is going to help people get through this emotionally, look, I'm the Chief Happiness Officer of the Happiness Jungle, and that title was given to me. I really believe that my purpose right now during the coronavirus is to help people stay emotionally on a neutral track, not too high, not too low, and to make sure that they're as comfortable as possible with what they have in front of them right now.
I like that. And you help people to stay grounded.
I want people to stay grounded right now. It's very important, and I have so many suggestions. I have couples calling in to me that are feuding. And my first question to them is, do you want to fall back into light and love with the person that you are self-isolated with right now? And they're like, what? And I'm like, once upon a time you fell in love. Do you remember how excited you were when you first met them and you were counting the minutes until you saw that person again? They're like, yeah. And I said, what if we could bring that back right now? What if we could save relationships right now just by doing that? And they're like, how do we do it? And I go through the whole process with them. And then they call me back days later. And some of them, because they followed my acts of kindness within each other, they're falling back into like and love. So I believe that the coronavirus can be saving a lot of marriages instead of creating divorces.
How did you get involved with the Happiness Jungle and doing everything that you do?
I come from the School of Hard Knocks. For the first 26 years of my life, I was brought up in a very toxic home. I was told I was worthless, I was nothing, I was never going to amount to anything. I was left-handed, and back in the 60s, if you were left-handed, they beat the crap out of you. I am and was dyslexic, so therefore I was, and I never use this word, but I'll go ahead and do it right now, but I was told I was stupid, I was dumb, I was an idiot. So it's funny because through our lives, and when I speak at schools and with children, they already know what they want to be when they grow up. It's already in them. We're very passionate about what we want in life. And when I was growing up, I remember I just loved to help people smile and laugh. So inside my home, my first book that I wrote in 2009 called Tears of Fears Behind Closed Doors, it's my story about growing up in a toxic home, getting married at the age of 18, and being in a domestic violence, a very, very abusive, mentally abusive relationship. And so my story is that in that book, but it's not a woe is me. It's to help others get out of domestic violence safely and with a better mindset. So when I got out of my first marriage, it was all because of this gentleman called Mr. Les Brown. I don't know if you're familiar with Les Brown.
No.
He's known all over the world, a motivated speaker. And it was his words on one day, it was that divine day, that he was on television. My daughter at the time was 15 months old. And on the television, I swear he popped out and he was speaking with me alone. And he said, "You have greatness within you. Don't allow anybody to take away who you truly are. And if you're lost, start being found." And with that moment, my former, I call him Anus in the book, he walked in, I'm holding my baby girl, 15 months old, who just got all of her shots that day, and I wasn't able to do anything at home. And in walks Anus, and because he didn't see dinner on the table, he was screaming and yelling and carrying on like he normally did, but for the first time in my life, I didn't hear him. He sounded like the Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. And all I heard was Les Brown feeding into me that I'm worth more than this. And that was the beginning journey of my personal development journey. And I started working on myself. I got divorced from him. But I look at that like, again, what was the purpose? I live life on purpose. What was the purpose of me having to go through this domestic violence horror, nightmare? And it was my daughter. Because if it wasn't for Anus, my daughter wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't have 4 beautiful granddaughters and an amazing son-in-law today. So thank you, Anus.
She calls him
And
Anus.
through
That's
that
hilarious.
process-
That's amazing, though. Everything you've been through, and
Yeah.
we have choices in life. You can take these adversities and do something positive with it, or you take your adversities and you continue it through generation to generation. We don't stop the cycle, and you stopped it.
Exactly. And I knew that I wanted more for my daughter. She was my strength. I looked down at that baby and I said, I may be volunteering to stay in this marriage because I believed in the vows so much. But the baby did not volunteer to be in this toxic environment. And that was between Les Brown and looking at my baby girl, that was the divine change for me to become who I was supposed to be. And I'm very diversified. I've done so many things. And it brought me back to what I've always been passionate about, which is helping other people be able to have a more positive outlook and positive life.
You know, and that's an important message because we bring it up to today's situation. And right now, a lot of people got jolted. It's like being in a boxing match and you get hit. And you're only a great boxer, not a good boxer, a great boxer, not only if you can punch, but if you can take a hit, you can take a punch. And I think that your story transcends into what's going on today where people just got jolted. You know, they got that punch. And you're going to have to recreate you. You're going to have to come back stronger. You're going to have to believe in you more. This is really accountability test. Do you say what you say, or do you say and then do it the other way?
Do you walk the walk and talk the talk,
That's
or do you talk it and do something else?
And it's people, I have an old saying where I meet people who are table setters. You're a table setter, and the rest of us are players. Table setters set the game for the players to be able to play. They're the ones that make the difference between winning and losing a baseball game. That's the way I view everything in life, table setters and players. And now it's time to turn yourself from a player into a table setter. This isn't going to go away if we sit back and don't believe in ourselves. I mean, America is the greatest country in the world, has always been, because we've picked ourselves up. We entered World War I and II late because it was us that came in there with a whole full-blown attitude. And I see what's going on around the world. People write to me all the time. It's really funny. Let me give you an example of a delivery. I have a gentleman here who's going to be doing his own show today. He's going to debut it, a millennial named Slick. That's what I call him, because I think he's the slickest. And he always says to me, you know, you look at everything half empty. But it is him noticing that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it on purpose, because I want to see what half full looks like. So he's bringing it half full. It is about the delivery of what we do. Her story to me means if she can do this, I got to look deep, and I got to find out what scares me, push that to the side, and I got to reinvent myself. And I congratulate you on that.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And it's
Where
so
are you
true.
speaking? When are you speaking again? Are you doing this video-wise now?
Yeah, that's a really good question, you know, because everything has been postponed. I was supposed to be in Jamaica last week and speaking at a 2-day event, Building Your Dreams. The first day was for adults and the second day was for children. So my calendar, like everybody else, is just paused, and it's only temporary. The whole world is going through this. And that's one thing that I want everybody to start owning. It's not just you. It's all of us that are feeling this pain. So I get on and I do a lot of videos now to inspire others. Can we look at this a little differently?
That's right. And I think that's an important message.
How do we do it differently?
You know, I look at this coronavirus as a gift. I'm home. I'm able to do things that I normally wouldn't have time for. I'm taking a course with Yale right now, and I'm always self-motivating myself. We have to invest in ourselves at this time.
Are you taking that happiness course from Yale?
I am.
I saw that. I was thinking about doing it. How do you like it?
Well, I like it, and it's really interesting to me because I come from the School of Hard Knocks. There's no science behind my development of how to create happiness and joy in your life. I come from the street, so I share with people the actual facts of how to do it. And as I'm taking this course, it's very interesting because Yale is all about studies, right? And so I agree with a lot of it, and then I have to sit back and think to myself, no, I don't agree with this part of it.
Interesting.
And so it's very interesting to me. I've been taking the course now for 2 days. I'm already in the 5th week.
2 days, 5 weeks, and 2 days.
But let's go back to how people are spending their time at home. There are many professionals that they're licensing the educational hours. Now you have all the time in the world without any interruption to take care of that. There are courses.
But will they do it? See, this is what I'm beginning to find out. People say, man, I wish I had time. I would read that book. I got 4 books by my bed. I got time. I ain't got no time. I ain't reading that. I want to do something else. I want to go paint my house. People are writing in. Everybody's painting their house. They're doing the lawn. My son called. Everything's gone. But do they walk the walk? This is what I want to. I mean, do you really put it out there? You got time to do these things you say you always wanted to do. Are you doing them?
Exactly. It's a choice, isn't it, Freddie? It's a choice. 100% we have a choice. We could look at this book and say, I'm going to read it today.
That's what I do.
Or put it aside and go, I'm going to go take a nap.
That's what I do too.
Well, you know, lately I've been taking naps.
Now, I want to touch base and put you on the spot here for a second. We are opening up because we believe that we want to grow platforms. We got producers creating their own platforms. You saw Teddy Uncensored, Unscripted yesterday. She did her thing. Slick is doing his thing. And they are creating the opens. I mean, spectacular stuff. And we're going to be putting on 2020 Vision. We have a Fuego show coming. We have something called AMP Media Communications. AMC. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what I want to do on the AMP Media Communications is to have someone like you, because look what happens when you follow directions. Look how clear she is. She sounds fantastic. She could still take phone calls, and she could do it from home. So we Zoom her in, we put her on a selected time during the day on the network, and you do your thing. And you reach the masses, and people can come into the platforms and they can learn from this stuff. You can use the pillow and make orders until that runs out, all of this stuff. But I have a feeling, like she said, the virus, sometimes the bad is the gift. I think that people that have businesses are going to have time now to talk about what they do. I mean, I've known this lady for a long time. I didn't know half of this stuff.
It's amazing, and when we can all come together with collective happiness and hope, imagine maybe that's I always say maybe. That's not a maybe anymore. This is the message that we need to take from this. Oh,
And you have to appreciate what you have around you.
So beautiful.
Right, Dee?
I thought
We got to appreciate what we have around us, because this is my strength.
He is
And my
beautiful.
cat is my strength. And my home is my strength. And I think, what if I didn't have my home? You know, where would I be? So again, living in the now, I walk the walk, I talk the talk. If you see me on stage, that's who I am before, during, and after. I want to just spread happiness. I want people to live a calmer life. I want our world to get along. And I really believe that the universe and God said to us, you guys aren't getting along. None of you are. So now here's your chance that we're going to give you to start learning about each other again and to start reinventing yourselves. Get along, or else we're shutting off the lights.
That's pretty much it. How do people get your pillow and find you?
They can order it on the happinessjungle.com website. I'm also going to add a free additional body pillow. Pink or blue, those are your choices. The pillow comes in like a nice yellow cream pillow with a pillowcase, and then I want to give another additional pillowcase. And here's also what I want to do, because there are people that domestic violence. I want to go ahead and did I tell you about my other book that came out 2 years ago?
No?
Okay, so that's my journey with the breast cancer. Wow. And people often say to me, how come you call it the breast cancer? You don't say my. I said, don't own it. Right. It's just like the coronavirus. Do not own this monster. It's only invaded you for a short period of time until you can kick the crap out of it, right? So it's the same thing with the breast cancer. I came out with the book, and the book is called Squeeze My Tatas. You're only one mammogram away from knowing.
That's true.
So when people order the body pillow, I will definitely send you the additional body pillow case, and I'll also, your choice, whether it's domestic violence or the breast cancer book, throw that in for you, because you may not need the book, but I bet you know somebody that does.
Wow, happinessjungle.com. Lyn-Dee, thank you so much. We'd love to work with you more and share the message. The platform works. You just gave me the chills. Wow.
No, I'm going to tell you, there's so much about this lady that I don't know, but so much that I learned today. It goes to show you, if you have a little time, you sit down, you have conversations, wonderful things can happen.
You know who's one of the best connectors is Jen G.
Yeah.
Because Jen G she's the one that told me about your pillow. I knew you in the Happiness Jungle, and she said she bought this pillow for her kids, and she said they absolutely love it. And her kids, they're grown men.
They love it. So from my heart,
thank you.
To everybody's, please calm down. And if you need to speak with somebody that can give you an uplift, as long as you're willing to take my advice and apply it, because I cannot give people permission to steal my energy, I promise you, you will get through the coronavirus smiling more and appreciating the people around you. And even if you don't have people around you, you'll get through this more joyfully.
Thank you, Lyn-Dee, so much. happinessjungle.com. You can get your happiness pillow and the book, so check that out. Lyn-Dee, thank you so much. More to come.
Thank you, Lyn-Dee.
Stay safe.
Thank
be
you
well.
so much. Love you guys. Stay safe, and thank you for all that you're doing. You guys are wonderful. You're such a gift.
Thank you. Let's go to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit, to be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters has that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
His abilities as a dry cleaner are so undeniable, dry clean only tags have his phone number printed on the back. Stubborn stains sometimes call him late at night just to apologize. His pickup and delivery service is so fast, his vans have pit crews. He is the most interesting dry cleaner in the world.
You don't always dry clean, but when you do, use A&T dry cleaners. Stay dirty, my friends.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. A couple of things. Great set by Lyn-Dee, by the way. Great set. And we got to meet her more about her when she came in here with the Masters, right?
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of people in there that...
Masters Network is a great event, and they're doing their Zoom calls actually, I guess it must have been yesterday. Masters Network, they are a tremendous networking group, and we knew Lyn-Dee, and we reconnected with Lyn-Dee through Gen G and her Masters Networking group. So more to come with that. You can find Lyn-Dee, her pillow, her book, everything that she does through Happiness Jungle and her words of inspiration at happinessjungle.com.
And JoJo's saying hi to us. Yes, JoJo, we are being safe. We are not open to the public.
We got to give JoJo a code to call in.
We got to give you a code so you can call in. We have a whole new set of calling numbers that you can do exactly what Lyn-Dee just did. And Maria's on there. Maria wants to say hi. A whole bunch of people saying hi. My son says, I called in. That's all I get. I called in.
He called in. It was nice to hear Gio on the phone. He sounds good. Joey's doing well.
It's nice to hear
You know
once in a
what?
while from him.
It's nice.
It's better to get some than get none. And again, I get a lot of phone calls. I got phone calls from Puerto Rico. Apparently Puerto Rico is on lockdown till 6 o'clock. And everybody's got to be home. So there's a
Curfew?
Stuff all over the place going on. I know that Boca, West Palm Beach has a new mandated orders starting at midnight tonight. So all non-essential businesses have to shut their doors until further notice.
Well, let's explain then how we are able to still be on air.
Yes, how we're able to stay on the air and Brightline is closing down because people are very confused.
Well, again, I ask you for the explanation.
No, you know it better than me.
But the explanation would be that radio, media, television, newspapers, and all media sources are considered essential and may continue to operate in the minimum capacity to share the information. So we are here. There are no guests in studio. We do not have our interns in studio. We do not have our network shows being produced in studio. Everything that you see coming out of here is the two of us, and we've got two in two separate rooms, one on board and one in another room editing. Everything else comes to you through video. So our shows through AMP and New Dawn Media will continue to air from everybody's home or business, wherever they are located, through this platform that we talked to Gio about that he was able to upgrade for us over the weekend. All of our guests, the information still needs to get out because as Lyn-Dee said, this too shall pass and we will go on and business will resume. It will never be business as usual. It will be business a little bit different and hopefully a little bit kinder to each other, but we have the opportunity to share it, to see what's going on in the stimulus package, to know what's going on, how people are feeling, to maybe give some hope because you know what, we're not filtering what we're putting out.
We're not listening.
We're really connecting on our level within our community. So we're here to help you. A&T Dry Cleaners will come to your home and pick up your dry cleaning. You do not have to go to the dry cleaners. They will bring you a bag. You leave it at your front door, and then you can bring it in. You can even take your clothes out of it. However you want to do it, you do not have to leave. Yesterday, I put an order in for Instacart. it told me that I will have my delivery Monday afternoon.
What's Instacart?
Instacart is, I go Publix, they shop and they bring it to my home. I've been doing this for about a year and a half.
You know, I saw in the news that Uber Eats has something called Uber Grocery, I think, or Uber Bodega, something for the Latino community.
Interesting.
And they go to these small Latino community places because Hispanics eat a separate set of food, I guess, I don't know. They get rajoria bichuela and stuff, and they know what that is, and they pick it up and they leave it at your front door, and you pay for it on your.
And that's what Instacart did. And they said Monday afternoon. I thought, all right, I'm going to put in a big grocery order for next week. And they said they're going to shop it and put it in the refrigerator section until it was delivered. Great. 10 minutes to 7 last night, it's on its way. So even though it's saying the delivery is not scheduling for immediately, they are delivering immediately, which alleviated me to the grocery store, my son, his girlfriend, whoever was going to expose. It's less exposure to so many people.
Do they leave it at the door?
They will leave it at your door.
You know, a lot of people last night, I got to do Sarah's Spiritual, which is one of my biggest productions that I do on Wednesday night. And she has a huge store in West Palm. And she wrote to me last night that she has the mandate, she has to close because she's a non-essential, she's spiritual. You know, and these are some of the places that you actually are sad to see closed because people right now need spirituality to get them through this thing. So I said to Sarah, you can close the doors like we're doing here, but you can still do deliveries. Yes. You know, you can deliver whatever it is, charms, bracelets, whatever it is that she sells, and send it out. It's no different than doing it on the internet. So with that frame of mind, what I would like to do is to have people from their homes do shows like Lynn, talk about their business, talk about how to improve yourself. We gave a great show yesterday on information about the stimulus program, and it hopefully will pass tomorrow the House. So I want to bring him back because they found a glitch that you make more money on unemployment than you do in your job, and that's not supposed to work that way. I also have questions that the Senate and Congress are getting millions of dollars, and I want to know why, because I heard that they weren't supposed to get any money.
That's what he had said.
That's what he had said. So there's a couple of things that we are going to bring to you. But the bottom line, the reason we're doing this is that if you have a business, like the gentleman who had a tailor business, and he makes the masks.
Yes.
Jupiter masks, right? And he's sending us some masks because he was so grateful that we put him on the air, and people now seem to be taking advantage of that fact. Listen, it's a bad situation. Find a way of taking your business and making it, what they call that, non-contact, if you can?
Non-contact, yes.
And that's why we are doing this. We're doing it to supply you with information. Brightline is closing down. I think the last train was last night.
And I actually have to also put this out there because I don't think people realize, is New York the epicenter? Yes. New Orleans soon to follow? Absolutely. Is it in Florida, in our Tri-County? 100%. If you have masks that you are not using, if you have them that you've used for raves and you're not going to raves right now, if you have them because you're in the construction industry and you're not using them right now, if you have them for various other reasons and you're not using them right now, if you can let us know, we would be more than happy to disseminate the information, and the masks will reopen up for you. But our healthcare providers right now, and you and I know this firsthand, they're given one paper mask when they're working in the healthcare
until you
facilities
can see
here.
through it, that happened, yes.
One paper mask, and that is it. They get wet. You cannot take them off. You cannot blow your nose. You cannot do anything. You're instructed to fold it up at the end of the day. It's going to make me cry. Put it in a bag and come back the next day and take care of these facilities and these patients. Now, it is to protect you, they're saying, as a healthcare provider. But masks are needed. And the stress that is going on right now in our facilities, in our nursing homes, in our hospitals, in our medical offices, because there are people that have masks. And we were told today, you know what? Oh, wait, we have them for this and we have them for that. You know what? Share them, please. We're more than happy to disseminate the information. We don't even have to say it's you, but if you know if you have a box, drop them off at a local facility, because you know what? It speaks volumes. These CNAs, they're crying because this is not what anyone signed up for.
And if you have them and you want to bring them to our door, I will personally take them.
I will take them.
Yeah. Whoever needs them. I know that where Linda works and Chuck works, they need them. A hospital, throw a rock. They need it. The police officers,
like a baby drop-off. Just drop them off.
Drop them off and we'll do it.
People would really. I was thinking about all the construction company sites that have closed down. I never realized these were the same masks that were sold in Home Depot and Lowe's for construction to keep dust out of their faces. I never realized it was the same mask.
Honey, they're using plastic bags on their heads.
So I'm saying, if these large companies have them, share them. You know what they say, what you invest will come back to you sevenfold. Share, that's what Lyn-Dee said. This is what it's all about. And you know what? At some point, we will get them all back to you. But right now, it is needed in our healthcare system.
Starbucks is giving free coffee. We were just informed. Starbucks is giving free coffee to first responders
I thought Starbucks was
and nurses.
closed yesterday when I drove past it.
If it's open.
I drove down Glades and there was no
But that
cars.
one doesn't have a drive-through.
Drive-through Starbucks?
Yeah,
Okay.
Listen, do this. You see a Starbucks, say, hey, do you give, I'm a first responder. They saying right here, I was just notified they are. I saw that Four Seasons Hotel are offering the doctors and nurses a place to stay because they don't want to go home to their families. They're sleeping in the hospitals not to go home in New York City. This is what my sister was calling me about. So if you got it, give it up. Let's use it. You know, this isn't about one person getting through this. This is about all of us getting through this.
This is worldwide. This is the time to come together and share. So anything we can do, please always let us know. 888-994-4995. You can also text us. The number is 55312. The message is cafe and it says text, and you'll be able to text us if you don't want to call us. More information coming your way. We will be back on at 12 o'clock. And again, a huge thank you to everyone that helps keep us on the air. We're here to share your information and just keeping it out.
That's it.
We'll see you at 12 o'clock. You okay?
We'll see you at 12. I'm good.
All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.